Welcome back. This is part 2 of this video and let's continue making our house. Remember to like, subscribe, and I have a Patreon account. I appreciate any help that will come through. Otherwise, let's jump right in. Okay, now let's add a door. So add a door, or maybe we add this window first. Let's start with that one. So Shift A on the keyboard. Let me use a cylinder. Yeah. Then I'll stretch it, bring it down like that. Push 1 on the keyboard, G to move. And I'll push 3 on the keyboard. I'll just make it face this way. And I'll move it. Push G on the keyboard to move. I'll go in edit mode. Turn on the X-ray and just zoom in. Let's get close. So the X-ray is on. Select these points and then I'll move this like that. Let me just move it down since we're not that straight. And I'll push 1 and turn off the X-ray. Select this face, come close and push I to insert. I'll push 3 on the keyboard, push E to extend and just drag it in. Don't even know how far I've moved. Okay, that's okay. And while I'm at it, select one face, push A on the keyboard, Control B to bevel, and I think that's okay. If you feel you are not moving very well, you can just use these numbers down here. So I think that's okay with me. And let me just grab these, try in X-ray mode. Let me just bring it here. This is the pivot. I'll go back to object mode and move this towards the house. So it needs to be somewhere here. And I'll push at the full stop. And let me just rotate it a bit. All right, like that. Move it. And we are good. I'll turn off the X-ray mode and let's zoom out. Let's see what we have. All right, maybe we move it a bit down. Just push 1 on the keyboard, then let's just drag it down a bit. Move it this way just a little bit. Okay, I think I'm happy with this. I'll save. So now to create the door. For the door, what we're going to do is we shall create a box again, a cube, S to stretch it, like that. Let me just put it right here. Push 3 so that I can see it from the side. I want it to be here. Okay, I'll just create it from away from here. Go into edit mode. Make sure the X-ray is on. Drag this here. I'll drag this a bit up. I want my door to be a bit high. Okay, like that. And let me get close. Okay, so let me push 1 on the keyboard. I want to select a face, so I'll select a face, push I to insert, and we shall insert, and this much is okay. Push 3 on the keyboard, and E to extend, and then we shall extend like that. Then one more thing we can do is get another cube and just Let's move it, stretch it. Oops. Oh no, okay. To that size, close to that size. Let me just stretch it a bit more. Yes, that is the size I'm looking for. Then just move it down here. So I'll move it right here. And I will push 1 on the keyboard. Make sure I'm selecting points. And I'll just move these points. I'll move this one up to this end and the other one all the way to the other end. Then push 7 on the keyboard, select everything, and then just rotate it 180 degrees. Okay, then let's move it. So I'll push 1 on the keyboard so that I can see where I'm positioning this. 3 on the keyboard. Okay, let me select all these. They need to be with the pivot. So I'll go in object mode and then I'll center this in object mode. So from what I'm seeing from the reference, it's weird, but the door is tilted a bit like that. And we shall move it. Seems to me these things are not so realistic, eh? Alright, and let's see. That door needs to be edited a bit. I need it to be a bit high, so I'll go back, push 3, and go back into edit mode for this one. Make sure the X-ray mode is on, and we shall just move these a bit high, like that. And some of these things need to be rotated, like these here. Let me just move closer. I'll get the rotate tool and just rotate these. Okay, G to move. I think that's okay. Okay, so one other thing that we can do right now is before we say we are done with modeling, before we start adding material, we can get a new cylinder, and I want to stretch this cylinder out like this. I'll push 1 on the keyboard, go into edit mode, select, make sure X-ray is on, select these points on top, just drag them up to down here. This is going to be our base, and select these ones and just drag as well, like that. So now we have that. So if we want, we can stretch it, push 7, we can just make it a bit smaller depending on what you want. And let me turn off this. Alright, so now we're done with part 2. Join me in part 3 as we paint the house.